Welcome to Secret of the Wealthy. This series is about uncovering the habits, the mindsets, and the practices that separate people who merely get by from those who build lasting wealth. Today, we're not talking about a single investment hack or a lucky break. We're diving into the most powerful tool of all, the mindset. Mindset is the invisible architecture behind every decision, every risk taken, and every opportunity seized. In the next 20 minutes, I'm going to walk you through 5 essential principles that the wealthy use, often without even thinking about it, to build empires, protect their time, handle risk with clarity, create powerful networks, and design legacies that last for generations. If you pay attention and act on even one of these principles, you'll be operating differently than 99% of people. So let's begin. When we talk about the wealthy, people often imagine piles of money, mansions, or expensive cars. But those are only the results. The real foundation lies in how they think. Their mindset is a lens, and through that lens, they interpret the world differently than most. For the majority, life is about scarcity. They say things like, I can't afford that. I don't have the time. There's no way to make this work. Scarcity becomes a mental cage, but the wealthy flip that script. Instead of saying, I can't, they ask, how can I? This question is not a cliche. It's powerful. It forces the brain to search for solutions instead of settling for excuses. Over time, asking how instead of saying can't trains your brain to automatically look for opportunities. History is filled with examples of this mindset at work. During the 2008 financial crisis, while countless companies filed for bankruptcy, others spotted hidden doors. That was the very environment in which Airbnb scaled, because people suddenly needed cheaper ways to travel, and many needed extra income. Most people saw crisis, a few saw an opening. Let me break this foundation into 3 habits you can use immediately. Habit 1. Reframe problems as experiments. Instead of declaring defeat, treat every problem as a test. Suppose your business idea fails the first time. Instead of saying, this doesn't work, say, this version didn't work. What can I test next? Entrepreneurs don't fail once. They test repeatedly until something sticks. Habit 2. Separate facts from stories. Most of our limitations aren't based on facts, but on the stories we tell ourselves. The fact might be, sales dropped 15% this quarter. The story might be, this means the business is doomed. Wealthy thinkers strip away the story and focus on the data. Then they ask, which part of the data can be influenced? Where is the opportunity hidden? Habit 3. Record and learn from failure. Wealthy people don't erase their mistakes. They document them. They see each failure as tuition paid for learning. Imagine keeping a simple notebook, a failure log. Each time something goes wrong, you write down what happened and one lesson. Over months, you'll see patterns and you'll stop making the same mistake twice. Consider Thomas Edison, who tested thousands of variations of the light bulb before finding one that worked. People asked him if he was frustrated by failure. His answer, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That is the mindset of wealth. So let me give you a direct exercise right now. Think of one obstacle you're facing today. Write it down. Now, instead of saying, this is blocking me, ask, how can this problem become useful? Can it teach you a skill? Can it point you toward a gap in the market? Can it force you to innovate? When you shift your mindset this way, you begin to see what others can't. You see doors and walls. You see opportunity in crisis. And over time, that mental shift compounds. Each decision guided by curiosity rather than defeat builds momentum. Momentum builds resilience, and resilience is the soil in which wealth grows. So the first secret is this: wealth begins not with money in your hand, but with the thoughts in your mind. Change your thoughts and your actions follow. Change your actions and your results follow. Before wealth shows up in your bank account, it shows up in your mindset. If the foundation of wealth is mindset, the next layer is leverage. And here's the truth: wealthy people don't just gather knowledge, they weaponize it. The average person treats knowledge as trivia, a collection of interesting facts. They read books or watch tutorials, nod their heads, and then move on with life unchanged. The wealthy approach knowledge differently. They extract tools. They turn ideas into levers that move the world. Think of Archimedes, who said, "Give me a place to stand and a lever long enough, and I will move the world." That lever in today's world is not a wooden beam. It's knowledge. But knowledge only works as leverage when applied. Take Warren Buffett as an example. He spends most of his day reading, but not passively. He filters information through one key question: how does this change the way I act? He learns about industries, patterns, and human behavior not to pass time, but to position himself for decisive moves. Let's break down how you can turn knowledge into leverage. Step 1. Specialize, then expand. Many people try to know a little about everything, but that creates shallow competence. Wealthy individuals often begin by going deep in one area: finance, technology, real estate, marketing. Once they master one domain, they expand outward, connecting it to others. This creates unique intersections. A person who understands both finance and psychology, for example, can design investment products that appeal to human behavior. Step 2. Connect knowledge to action. After consuming information, wealthy thinkers ask, what one action can I take because of this? For example, reading about e-commerce might inspire testing a small online store. Watching a documentary about urban housing could spark an investment in rental properties. The wealthy build a habit. Knowledge must translate into experiments. Step 3. Share strategically. Knowledge compounds when shared, but not indiscriminately. Wealthy people teach in ways that reinforce their own learning while building influence. They write, speak, or mentor, turning personal insight into authority. This not only sharpens their thinking, but also attracts networks and opportunities. Consider Elon Musk. His reading in physics and engineering didn't stay on paper. He applied it to rockets, electric cars, and energy systems. Each new field he studied became another lever, and by stacking levers, he multiplied his impact. Here's a practical exercise. This week, pick one piece of content you consumed, maybe an article, a podcast, or a book chapter. Instead of just remembering it, ask, what lever can I create from this? Could it become a blog post that builds your reputation, a strategy to test in your business, a question to ask your team? Turn learning into leverage, and suddenly knowledge becomes power multiplied. The wealthy don't win because they know more facts. They win because they treat knowledge as a living tool, a lever that shifts reality. The third secret of the wealthy is hidden in plain sight: their networks. But not just who they know, it's how they build and sustain value-driven relationships. Most people network transactionally. They ask, what can I get from this person? The wealthy flip this. They start with, what value can I add? Think of Andrew Carnegie, one of the wealthiest men of the industrial age. He said his fortune came not from his own knowledge, but from surrounding himself with people smarter than him in different areas. His mastermind group, as we call it today, amplified his vision. Wealthy networks work like ecosystems. Every relationship feeds others. Value circulates, trust deepens, and opportunities emerge naturally. Here's how they do it. Principle 1. Give before you ask. Wealthy thinkers build trust by offering something useful first. An introduction, an idea, or even encouragement. That generosity sets the tone. Principle 2. Curate the room. They don't just meet people randomly. They intentionally seek rooms where ambition lives. Conferences, industry groups, mentorship circles, places where ideas and drive collide. Principle 3. Long-term patience. Many people abandon relationships when immediate results don't appear. The wealthy cultivate connections patiently, sometimes for years before opportunities emerge. Consider Oprah Winfrey. Her empire wasn't built in isolation. She created a network of producers, authors, and entrepreneurs, where each relationship was grounded in mutual growth. A practical exercise. Make a list of 5 people in your life who inspire you or push you forward. This week, reach out not to ask for something, but to give, share a resource, recommend a book, or offer help. That small act of value begins a cycle that can transform your network. The wealthy know wealth isn't only numbers in a bank account. It's people, trust, and access. Build networks of value and doors will open where walls once stood. The fourth secret is resilience. Every wealthy person you admire has faced failure, crisis, or even ruin. The difference is not that they avoid hardship, it's how they respond. During the Great Depression, countless businesses collapsed, yet some rose stronger. Why? They didn't just survive, they adapted. They saw crisis as a forge. Wealthy thinkers train resilience like a muscle. They expect setbacks and prepare mentally. When failure arrives, it doesn't break them. It instructs them. Here are 3 resilience habits. Detach identity from outcome. They don't see failure as personal worth. A failed project is data, not self-judgment. Keep multiple bets alive. Wealthy individuals diversify, so one failure doesn't end the game. Recover quickly. They don't dwell. They pivot. They learn. J.K. Rowling faced rejection after rejection before Harry Potter was published. Today, she is one of the wealthiest authors alive. Her resilience turned rejection into fuel. Ask yourself, how quickly do I recover? Each time you bounce back faster, your resilience account grows, and resilience compounded becomes unstoppable momentum. The final secret is their relationship with time. For most, time is something to spend. For the wealthy, time is something to invest. The average person says, I'll do it later. Wealthy thinkers ask, what's the highest return on my time right now? They delegate, automate, and eliminate tasks that drain them. They spend time where leverage is highest. Strategy, relationships, creativity. Think of Jeff Bezos. In Amazon's early days, he focused not on packing boxes, but on vision, systems, and customer obsession. He built structures where his time produced exponential return. Here's a simple exercise. Write down your last 24 hours, then ask, which tasks gave me the highest return? Which could I have delegated? Which should I stop altogether? When you treat time as capital, you stop wasting it. The wealthy know money lost can be earned again, but time lost is gone forever. Protect your hours and wealth will follow. So here we are. The secrets of the wealthy are not about luck or hidden family connections or mysterious tricks. They are about perspective and discipline. First, they shift their mindset from scarcity to possibility. Second, they turn knowledge into leverage. Third, they build networks of value. Fourth, they cultivate resilience. And finally, they see time as their most precious investment. None of these require millions of dollars to begin. They require awareness, practice, and persistence. The wealthy don't wait for perfect conditions. They start with what they have, where they are, and they compound small choices into extraordinary results. The secret of the wealthy is not hidden. It's available to anyone willing to see differently, think differently, and act consistently. So the question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will it remain another video you watched, or will it become the lever that shifts your future? This has been Secret of the Wealthy, the hidden mindset that builds empires. Thank you for watching, and remember, the greatest wealth begins in the mind.